Okay, I'm starting recording. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we'll discuss another episode of Star Trek, the original series. We are now fans. Fans. So fun is something to make wind, and fan is something who loves something. So we are now fans of Star Trek series, and today we have episode 29 of season 1, and the name is Operation Annihilate. I spent 5 minutes training to pronounce this.
Is it a kind of explosion or something like that? Annihilation?
Annihilation is
destruction.
Okay, thanks.
As I understand it, it means to distract it completely to nothing, right?
Yep, to reduce something to nothing.
Yeah. We annihilated it to, I don't know, to zero. Okay, Vova, who is the main characters in this episode? Kirk. Okay, Captain Kirk.
Kirk, Mr. Spock.
Doctor, what was his name? Dr. McCoy, Scotty, the usual crew, right? And how we call this alien, I don't know what it was, actually. A virus, participles.
Corona.
I would call it a cell or something, cell. Now,
Yeah, I know.
Our
Just
body
kidding.
made of cells, right? So it was a kind of a cell of some alien living creature or something. Okay, Sergey, could you please start with the plot?
Okay, and the team of Enterprise noticed that one starships went to the solar, and they didn't understand what they did, and after that they connected with one planet, and they asked what's happened to the planet. They answered that we have a virus, and we have a problem, and they solved to transplant to move to this planet. And Captain Kirk, Spock, and other teammates went to the planet, and they met some aggressive men who told them, go out, we are going to beat you, go out, what's happened? And they didn't understand them.
Yeah. Okay, so what was the mission of Starship Enterprise? Why they struggling in the space? Why they, not struggling, why they traveling in the space? What was their mission?
I think that to win in the different fighting with other
according to you, they are just pirates, right? They are traveling in the space and beat whoever they found.
I think, yeah.
Fasans, please.
Yeah, I think they represent the army that we all have. We do not fight every time, but we have certain amount of army people at our border to make sure that the rest of the people are happy. So I think the Star Fleet, the US Enterprise, is some sort of such soldiers or something like that in the space.
How we call them? Border patrol or border guards?
Border patrol would be good.
Border patrol. So you're saying that they just protect the human race, right? Just patrolling the borders and looking for order, enforcing the order in the space. I'm asking because I remember that last time they were on some research mission or some discovery mission or something like this. So something changed as I got it. I don't understand really.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm looking at the written synopsis. I put it in the chat area. The written synopsis for the start of it is there's this resort planet called Deneva, and it's a resort planet, so people stop off there for vacation or to relax for a little while. And Kirk's brother lives on this planet. And I think they got a message from Jim. Let me see.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, so that it was a message from his wife, I guess, from wife of his brother, and the message
Yeah.
was kind of, what's the name for this? It was a
Distress call, right?
let's call it save our souls.
Yeah, SOS. Yep.
So something bad happened on this planet, and they have to investigate and save people there. How it went? How did it go, or something?
Talk about the ship they encountered, Vasanth.
Yeah, yeah.
What about the ship? Yeah.
Ship is very interesting thing. Sergey mentioned it, but let's go deeper.
They didn't see the ship, but they got the sensor alerts that some ship is hovering around. So when they tried to contact with the ship captain, he didn't seem to talk to them. He was some sort of upset, and he was talking to himself, and he was driving his ship towards the sun. So it was literally a suicide, but Kirk's team wanted to know the reason for his to know his motive. And finally found them that he committed suicide as well, but he eventually he was happy that he completed some sort of mission. So he achieved something. So everybody were very curious about what he was about to do at that time.
So clearly it was an act of suicide, right? He was going to commit a suicide because he was pointing towards the star, the sun, and they tried to keep him. I don't remember the tool, but they mentioned something like some probe or something. So use magnetic probe. It's too far.
Tractor beam. The tractor beam.
Tractor beam. They tried to use a magnetic field to grab his ship and pull it back.
Wow.
But they had to get close to do it. So they had to get real close to him. So they're both going toward the star.
So they started to understand that something goes wrong, right? Something goes wrong. And then they received a call from this planet. So, and I like the idea that in future we will have a planet for resort planets, planet for vacation. I like this idea very much. And I like that the idea that some people live there forever, like his brother, right? He's probably a veteran or something. So he's, what's the word for this? Yearned the right to live there. Okay, so they arrived to the planet using the teletransportation device, or what it was. What happened, Gerard, with them?
They didn't find any people at first, but then they found a few people that tried to attack them with clubs. They reduced them. They stopped them with a beam, stunning beam. I think the device, how is called this? A weapon.
Phasers.
Phasers.
On stun.
A stun. Okay, the phasers, I think they can have several positions: a stun and lethal and more lethal.
Yeah, to kill and to stun are the basic settings. Yeah, set to stun, set to kill.
They also found Kirk's family, like his brother, who was Sam, his brother Sam, who was already dead. His nephew, and his sister-in-law, who was still alive, and she was saying like crazy things, and she was suffering a lot of pain, and she eventually died.
There was another thing. So Spock, he had some kind of device, small device, kind of tricorder, or how it's named, and he said
Trichorder, yep.
tricorder. And I remember he said, so these people are stunned, so their mental activity must be 0, but I can register. I can register a lot of mental activity or something. So it was a clue for us that something goes wrong.
What was strange about this group of men that attacked the landing party? There was something contradictory about them. Do you remember?
Let's ask a child. Vova, do you remember this man who attacked Captain Kirk and Spock on the planet?
Yes.
What was wrong about them? What was strange?
They, mm, they,
Let's ask Sergey. Sergey, what was wrong about them?
With him.
So people, so when Captain and Spock landed on the planet, they were attacked by men, right? By small group of men. So what was strange about this man? What was
I think those people can control himself, and they made something what they didn't want, and it looks like they control the different humanity.
There is a word I think it's appropriate. It's a puppet, right? Puppet and puppeter. So a puppeter can control a puppet with attached strings or something.
Right. The men were saying, we're telling the landing party, run away, run away, we're gonna kill you, run away, we're gonna attack you, run away, run away. So the party was confused. It's like, what the hell? They're telling us to run away, and they're telling us they're gonna kill us. They're warning us they're gonna kill us.
So at least there are already two strange things. So they register some strange mental activity, and then they see people who try to avoid attack, but by attacked them anyway. So and they started to they found family of Captain relatives, right? And his brother was dead already. What else? They found this alien. I don't know what is this creature. Do you remember this? Can you describe this this event?
Yeah, the creature are told to be a single cell organism, but it is large in existence. It is so weird. It is the first time they had seen anything like that. So it felt like a jellyfish sort of. It's hard to explain. It's something like broken egg. Raw egg, something like that. And it had no eyes and no exact physical form, but it can sense human existence with its ability. It can bite, I think. It can stick on human flesh and maybe inject some venom or anything.
So they do you remember there was like a shooting contact? They tried to fight with this creature, tried to shoot it from their blasters or phasers or what it was, and non-damage taken, right? So this thing is very what's the word for this? Very tough. you cannot destroy it, right? And the thing attacked Spock. How was Spock doing with this attack? What happened to Spock after the attack? Gerard, do you remember?
Yes. This is a sort of parasite that tries to control the host. In this case, a Spock, but a Spock is a Vulcan and he could control, keep the suffering, keep the pain, control the pain that this creature inflicted to him. And well, Spock was put to the infirmary with Dr. McCoy, and first he was restrained, but then Spock escaped. I don't know whether he escaped because of the creature or because of himself. I'm not sure. What do you think, Teacher Lee?
Well, initially it controlled Spock. He couldn't fight it. And then later, using his mental discipline, he was able to fight it and control his own actions.
Should I say the right word? I guess it's a parasite.
Parasite, yep.
Parasite. And we know a lot of examples from real life, right? Real life examples, how it works. Can you provide any, Gerard? Do you remember something? Like parasites that can control the mind of another creature?
The mind.
I know two examples. Maybe there are more, but I know two examples.
I don't know.
Paula, please.
I know the mushroom.
Yeah.
Puzzle.
Mushroom. And what it does? What it does? This mushroom?
It does control the mind.
An ant, so insect.
Yes, an insect.
Yeah, good example. I remember. So mushrooms, they have how they like create colony of mushrooms. They have some seeds or some, how we call the seeds? I don't know.
Spores?
Spores? Yes.
Spores.
Is it the same in English? I don't know.
Yeah.
Spores? Yeah. So this spore actually it takes control of an ant by attacking his mind, his cerebral, right? And ant goes somewhere uphill to the place that has a lot of sun and dies here. So these spores, they are like spreading using ants. good example, very good. Another example, there are some viruses. Some viruses, they control mind of animals. For instance, this, how we call it, rabies. Actually, it controls mind of animal. So
it doesn't so much control their mind, but it makes them aggressive. Yeah, it just makes them mean and aggressive and attacks people. Yeah.
Kind of change the mind. They start to they obtain some phobias, water phobia and light phobia, and they change the behavior. So
you're right. Yeah.
It's interesting. So somehow it's changed the mind. So it's not a new thing, right, in the universe.
And according to some people, the vaccine. Because Bill Gates.
Yeah, conspiracy theory. Yeah. Bill Gates wants to control the world.
He doesn't have enough money yet.
So allegedly, I already got controlled by Bill Gates with my implanted chip, 5G chip.
Nanorobots in your brain.
And Sergey as well, right?
Yeah.
Very, 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 very good. We are controlled by Americans now.
So if you remember at the beginning of the movie, of the show, they had a map on the screen, and it was showing a big area of space, and they looked at planets that had gone quiet over maybe decades.
Mhm.
Do you remember what that was about?
Not actually. Gerard, do you remember?
Yeah, I think this creature is like every individual is like a neuron of a brain, and altogether is a giant creature, and he has annihilated many places, even civilizations, I think.
So what they found out was a lot of planets' populations had been annihilated, cause unknown. And when they plotted them in space, they were all in a straight line.
Mhm.
And this planet they were visiting was on that line. So all the planets in that line before that had all been wiped out by something, but they didn't know what. So something was going from planet to planet to planet in a straight line, wiping out all the populations. And the next planet was going to be a solar system with just billions and billions of people. So they had to stop this threat now, or many more billions of people would die as this threat went along that straight line. So the question was, how were these invaders going from planet to planet to planet? Those are large distances. So I think the woman that was alive, Kirk's brother's wife, told them, these creatures are making us build spaceships to carry them to the next planet. So that's how these invaders spread across the galaxy, as they controlled the people, made them build spaceships to carry them to other planets where they could do the same thing over. Okay.
Yeah, I see. So, but they didn't expect that Spock will be one of the victims, right?
That's right.
And as Gerard said, Spock, he was controlled at the first by this virus or whatever it was, but then because of his Vulcan roots, Vulcan parts, he kind of was able to bear the pain, right? He was able
Right.
to continue thinking despite the pain he has, and what was his and he was a kind of a subject for experiments, right? To how to cure this disease, if you can say so, disease. So do you remember what was the experiments on the Spock? What doctor did?
I'm not sure that we are talking about the experiment, and I remember two cases with Spock. When Spock went to the planet for taking the example of new Bane, and the second part when the doctor put Spock inside this camera, and he switched on bright light for checking his theory about light fighting with new Banes.
What is critical for this virus? Yes, they need to find a solution how to kill the virus and keep like a victim alive, right? To let a victim survive, to get rid of the virus. Yeah, and who recalled this fact about this sun? Uh, I don't remember that ship that went to the sun. So someone recalled this, right? And
Yeah, I think they understood after their experiments that people from other starships were trying to kill the virus using the solar lights.
visualize, right? Okay, so as far as I remember, they tried high temperature, they tried some kind of radiation, and for a moment they ran out of hypothesis, right? They say, what to do next? I don't know. We tried everything. And then Kirk said, do you remember this ship? He was he got rid of the virus, so it was a light. And they tried to they need some kind of approbation of the theory, right? They need to find the proof. And they have a Spock like a guinea pig. Wrote. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's else? How it went with Spock? Was it a good guinea pig?
Yes, because he was a Vulcan, so they tried the experiment, but he endured the pain but lost his vision in the end because due to his nervous system, he got blind. Unsuccessfully, the I would say that the remaining of the creatures were gone from his body, and yeah, he was safe.
Yeah, so he lost his ability to view, to see, right?
To see, yeah, temporarily.
Yeah, luckily temporarily, but it wasn't unknown at that unknown at that moment, right? Luckily, it was temporary.
I know what was stupid to me was they put him in the chamber, submitted the put the bright light in there and blinded him, and then like a few minutes later the results of the test came back. Why didn't they wait a couple of minutes? You know, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were definitely in hurry, right? Because Kirk lost his temper this time because of his relatives. He always was, I need a report in 1 hour from research department.
Yeah.
What's up, please?
Yeah, and Spock mentioned that the experiment worked, and he told that he was blind later, but he should have told that first because that is the first thing he would notice. His vision is gone, so he should have mentioned it earlier.
But Spock is Spock, right? Needs of many is bigger than needs of one. So who cares
Right.
about my blindness, right? And it's a good to have a volunteer like Spock who is always ready to sacrifice himself for bigger needs. Yeah.
So
Okay, so
what I was just gonna say, so what happens when Spock was blinded, everyone thought it was permanent, even Spock. And then later Spock's vision came back and McCoy couldn't explain it. And then Spock explained that on Vulcan, it's like a desert planet. The sun is very, very hot and very, very bright. So the Vulcan physiology has a third eyelid that can close and protect the eye from bright light. But they don't, it's automatic and they don't even know when it functions. It's kind of like our appendix. It used to have a function, but once they built, buildings and shade, that third eyelid no longer became vital to their existence. So when it protected him during the bright light exposure, it closed and somehow protected it, prevented permanent damage without him even knowing it was doing it. So he was only temporarily blinded, but that third eyelid prevented permanent damage. So his eyes got better. So that was kind of a surprise plot twist that gave him his eyesight back.
a bonus, right? And I remember there is a word for this. We call it a rudiment, right? Something that we were used but not used anymore.
Right.
But rudiment or something.
Rudimentary, yeah. It's like our appendix. It used to have a function maybe, but today it's kind of useless. It doesn't do anything.
You know, in Russia, some doctors say that appendix is more important than we saw before, and they refuse to
Cut it out.
cut it out. They try to keep it, so not to cut.
Well, in America, we do cut out appendixes, and it doesn't affect the person at all. So if it really does the function, it's not very important.
I don't know. Maybe it helps you in gender studies or something. Who knows? Gerard, please.
If you want to experiment something like a Spock with an intensive light, you just need to watch a welding machine.
Yeah.
The light of a welding machine is so intensive, it can harm your eyesight.
Yep.
And I remember when I was young, I had some kind of temporary blindness because of wellness machine. Yeah, because
Wow, really?
grown-ups, they always say you don't watch on it, but you cannot, right? How?
You tell you.
Don't look at the sun.
Which one? Where is the sun? Okay, what we missed? So, we missed one important thing. So they found a way how to cure people, but don't make them blind, right? Gerard, do you remember how?
Okay, they find out that they just needed ultraviolet beams, not the whole spectrum of light. So humans cannot see ultraviolet, so ultraviolet beams cannot hurt the eyesight, and that was the solution. Even if the creatures were in the shadow, they were affected by the ultraviolet lights. So the Enterprise throw some satellites that produce those ultraviolet lights around the planet, and then they killed the virus. But it's surprising that even the creatures are in the shadow, the ultraviolet lights can affect that. How is that possible? I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah. If they were like in a basement, someplace where light can't get in. You know what else was strange? When they were doing the light experiment on Spock, right? They put him in a room, right? And they closed the door, right? So he's in a closed room, and outside the room, they put on goggles, and the bright light still came outside into the room. It's like, what's going on? Didn't make any sense.
I think there is another twist plot, and I was about to ask you what do you think about it? You know, people really cannot see the ultraviolet, but ultraviolet still damage our eyes, even if you don't see it.
That's a good point. In fact, sunglasses block UV light. Yeah, so yeah.
Kind of.
Maybe they didn't know that back in 1960.
Probably. You know, at that time, black sunglasses they did not protect from UV, and many doctors were against sunglasses because you open your eyes wide and you receiving more UV than you were without sunglasses.
Ah.
So nowadays all of them like protect from UV, but not back then. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, what we forgot? Let's check if we covered everything. Sergey, anything important? Fight scenes, romantic scenes? No.
I thought about the end of this series, this episode, when they put some satellites around the planet, and I didn't understand how they informed population of this planet. Okay, and tomorrow we will plan to infect your pain. Please go out from your building. But it looks like some decision in our country. But suddenly we change the pension age tomorrow. What? or we plan to change the money tomorrow, and you will have only 4 days. But it looks like the similar for me.
Yeah. So yeah, luckily it's not only our country. Ask Vasans about denomination reform or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they
Denomination
didn't
reform is important.
they didn't need to inform the planet because number one, the people couldn't control their actions anyway.
Yep.
And number two, there was nothing to really warn them about. They were just going to blast light down all over the planet's surface. And they didn't need to take any kind of precaution, really. So there was no need to tell the population.
no warnings were given, right? So we
I mean,
just
there was nothing people could do anyway other than come outside. Everybody stand outside, please. You know.
we will bombard you with UV. So it's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah,
But
and
somehow this light went through the windows and exposed everybody anyway. So
yeah.
there was no action on their part.
Yeah, and we forgotten about one moment when Spock has been infected, and the team of starships has a special instructions. Mr. Spock infected, and he have to connect it with bed. But in some days, and he thought, "Oh, I can control my emotions and my nerves and my mind." But I don't know, maybe it's not Mr. Spock told. But, and a team of starships don't didn't follow the instructions, and I think it's not good.
Yeah. So by saying I'm a Spock, I'm Spock, I got control of this creature. It could be a creature speaking by by Spock. Yeah. So
Yeah,
But I'm not sure that you are the Spock.
yeah, yeah,
prove it somehow.
yeah.
Yes. Good.
So when we tie someone down to a hospital bed, we call that restraining them. So restraints. He's restrained where he can't get up and walk around.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And one more moment when doctor made the experiment with Spock when he switched on the light. And in 5 minutes, the mistress went, and, "Oh, I have a result in your previous experiment." What? What happened? But you know about your different experiments result, but anyway, you switch on the light for Mr. Spock, but it's a stupid decision. It's a bad organization. It's a problem of Kirk Captain.
Agreed.
Yeah, we agree with you. So it was strange. They were in hurry. They were maybe panicking or something. So I'm trying to find excuses for this.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we covered the whole story. It was easy because it was short and it was kind of straightforward. There is no too much twists, so we covered it. But it was good. It was interesting.
But
I remember
it's,
that.
go ahead.
I remember that they after Spock got infected, they made a research and said that his neural system is kind of intervened by this creature. At that point, I saw that now they have a problem. How are they going to resolve this? And
Exactly. Yeah. But what this shows you is basically this is a troubleshooting approach. You find a problem, you study the problem, you try to figure out the cause of the problem, you try to find a solution to the problem, you test a solution. If that doesn't work, you try another solution. So you keep trying things until you've fixed the problem. So it's the same as an IT troubleshooting process, right, Ivan?
right. We always have some hypotheses and we check them one by one and we put new facts and try to
Yeah.
see what new facts give us about the rest of hypotheses, maybe make new ones. So it's trial and error.
Trial and error. Yep.
Trial and error, yeah. And it's pretty tedious, actually. I don't like it usually, this debug process.
Yeah.
Gerard?
Another thing I noticed that Spock and McCoy are always antagonizing. And in a moment, Dr. McCoy said that Spock was the best first officer of the galaxy. And he told him, don't tell him. That Spock had a very sharp hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask Leila. Leila, are you with us still?
Yeah, I am
Leila.
just listening and trying to enjoy myself.
Yeah, Leila,
I just close my eyes sometimes and try to imagine the scene.
Well, I have a question for you. Just imagine that we have a team of people who, like a crew of Starship or something, or I don't know, a company. So if there are two different companies, in one we have all people like-minded, you know, they share the same logic, the same culture, the same values, so they like-minded, right? And another company, all the people are diverse, you know. One of them, like Spock and McCoy, they
Right.
think different. What do you think? What crew will be more successful?
The diversity one.
Diversity one.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole. Yeah. During the whole Star Trek series, there's always a Vulcan who's the logic, the pure logic, no emotion. And then you've got the emotional humans. So when they set up this series, Spock and McCoy are always criticizing each other or teasing each other or taunting each other. It's logic against emotion, you know?
Yeah.
So
I
it's,
thought for one moment, Ivan was going to ask me, just imagine that here we, Ivan, Gerard, Sergey, Teacher Lee, Wawa, Vasant, and you are in the space and in the ship. What do you think about this crew? I thought you were going to ask something like that. And I thought Teacher Lee is the captain.
No doubts, yeah. But
Yeah.
speaking about the diverse team, Leila, why do you think? Why diverse team is?
Because Ivan, every time you can learn different things from different people. Believe me, you know, every time when I'm with you, I'm learning something new. I mean, you share your knowledge, and I feel respect for this. And I don't know. I think it's better for me if I am with people the same, just the characteristics the way I have. It will be boring.
Let me play a devil advocate as always, my role. So I agree that, you know, for a conversation, for a party, it's a good to have, you know, diverse people. It's interesting. You can, you know, you can share some ideas, you can different point of views. But during the work, you know, hard working crew, you know,
You
of the
complete each other, Ivan. If you obey the rules, if you're a disciplined person, if you know who the senior person is, I mean, I think it could be better. It could be challenging. Am I right, Mr. Teacher Lee?
well, diversity, the problem with diversity is diversity in what way? If I take a white person, a black person, a Vulcan, and an Indian, and a Russian, and if I put them all in the same school and teach them all medicine, and they all come out doctors, they're not necessarily diverse in the way that you want diversity. Diversity is not his skin's black, my skin's white. If they were raised in the same culture, they're not really diverse because of skin color. Diversity is should be based on your skills, your disciplines. He's an engineer. He's a medical person. He's a construction guy. You know, different skills, diverse knowledge levels, diverse cultures and values. That is what diversity is about, not skin color per se.
Yeah, I meant that because
Yeah.
I think we can complete each other. You see, if you were the engineer, and I can learn a lot of things from you.
Right. Now, the diversity that Star Trek chose to use was not skin color, but it was nationality. Uhura was black, but she was from Africa. Sulu was from Japan. Chekhov was from Russia. Scotty was from Scotland. Spock was from Vulcan, a different planet. They were diverse not by skin color, but by ethnicity, by
Like
culture. They had different cultures and different disciplines or different
Lee,
professions.
they are experts on their fields, right?
Exactly. That's diversity. If you got different experts in different areas, that's when diversity is a strength.
Okay.
Why I'm asking, you know, I work in different teams during my career, and some of them were like more diverse than others. And what I noticed that people usually don't like diverse teams. They don't like to be arguing all the time. They they don't like to prove every time what I'm going to do and why we should do so. So from my point of view, you know, nowadays we have diversity like a good thing. It's an axiom. We never say about this. But from my experience, people tend to have, you know, more monolithic commons, teams or crews.
Just think of Mr. Spock. You know, wow, I can learn a lot of things from him.
I understand. Sergey, what do you think? What kind of teams you like? Diverse teams or like-minded as a manager?
I supported the opinion of Teacher Lee because I don't support the monolith teams with one direction views. And in my team, we tried to take some people with different part of view. But we don't take some black men and black women and some people. We are looking for people with unique views for collection our team, and because we have a head goal, money and a lot of metals and rackets and I don't know, vaccines, but we don't see in the skin color. Absolutely, I color, but my experience helped me to find to look some people who can work with our team, with our department, and with our plan, but who can't. It's a
But why cannot? Why cannot? Because the values are really like
because
far
the
away.
culture. Because the culture.
So I see some contradiction in this. You know, we want to be like comfortable circumstances for working. At the same way, we try to ruin this by diversity. No.
Diversity of use, not diversity
I never spoke about, you know, color of skin. I don't care about this. But
Yeah.
from my personal experience, you know, if you have 5 engineers, every one of them have his own opinion, you know, unique opinion, and they cannot find a compromise, or you have to find compromise every bloody day. You know, it's pretty tedious. So I see that this is
Yes,
kind of a problem.
I understand your work and your job, but we have some different job. But in my, I am a good starter, and I am a good negotiator with other partners, and my colleague good finisher who can work with big data, but with Excel spreadsheet, with etc. I hate it, but I like to speak and I like to go to and etc. But my colleague work every day at home, and she likes it. but different partner help us because they have a good experience and they have a good knowledge about something.
Okay, so you don't have to find compromises. Actually, you just doing different part of works. Is what I heard.
Yeah, and in the top level, we have some argos about vanadium problems and about our metallurgical problems.
What about Westinghouse, usually?
What you were saying about 5 IT people, all engineers, and still disagreeing, that happened at the Challenger disaster, the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. You had some disagreement there, and some voices were hushed, and disaster happened. At Westinghouse, we actually have a procedure to deal with differing professional opinions, because sometimes we have 2 engineers and they just disagree. I say we need to do this. Hell no, we need to do something totally different. This is right. No, that's wrong. And they cannot agree. So we actually have a procedure that when that happens, there's a process we follow. We'll hold a board of people, will listen to their arguments, and someone, the team or the board, will decide this is what we're going to do, and that's it. So we have the same situation in Westinghouse, and there's a procedure that says if you absolutely can't get the team to agree, they have a process to do the pros and cons and discuss. You say what your opinion is. Let me hear your opinion. You explain your position, and then an arbitrator will make the final decision, and everyone has to obey that decision.
But it's time, money, everything.
Yeah, we don't do it often, but it's in process. It's there to use. Yeah.
I just curious. I ask because I can see that some managers, they try to build like-minded comments just to avoid all this, spending.
Yeah.
We just doing this because we belong to this way. What do you think?
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Sergey, please go on.
I understand that you use agile and you have to every day launch new version of your products, but in the metallurgical we can't launch new products every day. That's why we are working about project 1 year, 2 year. Yes, and I understand that we lost a lot of money because we can't to make a decision like a Westinghouse, from example of Teacher Lee, because we have a lot of opinion. I am right, not, and we have a lot of meetings, Zoom meetings, and private meetings, and political interest. It's abnormal. But now in our company started to use agile, but I don't know how. But we are trying because we understand that we lost a lot of time and money because we can't find the solution.
I have a sad news for you. From my experience, agile help nothing, So it's just agile. Agile it's a methodology that just build your process in simply another way. You don't plan the whole things forward. You do one thing like in one step. So
okay.
And you always refine your goals like on every step.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that before. Okay.
Yeah, so incremental approach. Yeah. What kind of team would you choose if you can? So mind-lighted one or diverse one?
Yep, a diverse one, but not in terms of the appearance. It's about the mentality and the way they decide. Because if the captain wants to land on a specific planet, then somebody else would have suggest a possibility of wrongdoing. So that would be a healthy team, healthy circumstances. I would like to have, not a like-minded, because everyone would support the idea and they would land, and it could be a bad decision. So it's always better to have an alternate opinion. So a diversity helps.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Okay, I think I think it was a nice diversion from our movie. But it was provoked by Spock and Doctor situation, so kind of related. Okay, I'm starting to share my screen. Okay, I broke something. Let me try again. And my chat. Okay, so this creature, it looks like a cell, right? Looks like a cell. I don't remember any names of this, different parts of the cell, but it's mitochondria or something. So there,
Yeah, mitochondria.
there are many. There are some pumps, like cell pumps or something. I don't remember from my biology course.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's so nucleus. Yeah, nucleus.
yeah.
Amoeba, it's like it's a creature in general, right? Yes,
And
it's
an amoeba is a one-celled animal.
yes, one cell.
It has one cell. It's one cell. That's the amoeba.
Yeah.
Very simple form of life.
Okay, let's go forward. Vova, could you please describe this picture?
The team of Captain Kirk in the teleport to the this planet.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the planet. Looking for it in the chat. Deneva. Deneva is the planet. Deneva.
Deneva.
This white thing, what do you think? What it is? This white thing.
It looks electrical, but I don't know.
It's look like, so, in military, the protection from tanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but what we can say about this place? It's pretty neat, right? Everything clear. We can see a grass cut it very well, so cut very well, and yes, tidy, very very good. I can see a tree here which looks like a Russian tree, birch or something. To me, not a palm, not a Florida palms. So, yeah.
Ivan, did you watch the movie Ip Man, IP Man, Ip Man?
Yeah.
You see that? There's on the left. There's a metal pole with brown sticks coming out of it.
Yeah.
That looks like his fighting post.
Exactly. Or maybe it's like an antenna. Oh, actually, it's a stairs. It's a ladder to the top.
Spiral antenna or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's
like
weird looking. You're right.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Vasans, could you please tell us what is happening?
The humans, the inhabitants of the planet got to know about the team's arrival. So immediately they started shouting, and they had some weapons, some sort of stick in their hand, and their appearance was threatening, but the language they spoken was it's just a warning, a friendly warning, but their action was completely contrary to what they were speaking. They immediately, the team were waiting until they come near to their vicinity, and they started firing at them. That's it, and we can see a beam that attacked everybody. And sparks also.
Well, I don't know what is phaser and how it works, but I'm surprised that there is some kind of red sparks that goes out from the body when you point phaser on it. Yeah, looks like a blood or something.
Yeah, they made up the word phaser from
Yeah.
laser, laser, photon laser, phaser, I don't know.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah. So this grass has a white flowers, and I
We
forgot his
call
name.
them we
Yeah.
call them wildflowers.
Yeah.
One kind of wildflowers called a dandelion.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's grow up, you can, right?
We call that milkweed. Yeah, we call that milkweed.
Milkweed. Yeah. Looks so.
Yeah,
I like them. Yeah.
yeah.
Play with them. Okay, another one. Sergey, what is happening there?
There is a room of wives of brothers, Captain Kirk wife, and crew was trying to save her from new creations, and they checked what's happened this, and there is a new stylish room with blue wheel and minimalistic design of furniture, and the chair looks like a chair from 16, but I think when I watched the movie from 16th, I saw the similar chairs and the similar furniture.
Yeah, what do you think about this table? Is it comfy?
It's work table, and I think this table has to convenience for work because it has a circle shape, and on the table we can see two stations and one, I don't know what is it, maybe it's lights on the table, maybe it's a speakerphone.
Yeah, some control board panel. We don't know. But
Can't tell.
what I'm surprised about this table? How to sit? You see, it's close to the wall. Where to put your chair there?
Yeah. Ivan,
Yeah.
who is she that the captain is giving hug to?
She's a wife of his brother.
Yeah, brother's
Sister-in-law.
son. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and his nephew, right, on the
Oh, they are
the
dead
floor.
on the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah, the
Actually,
brother and his son, the brother and son are dead.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and Spock is looking on his tricorder or something, this device. And yeah, and lady, I don't know if her name is it Uyura? Oh, no, probably another one.
I can't tell who that is. Yeah, just probably a
has-
security officer. Who knows? Yeah,
She
security.
has the same device.
Yeah.
Okay, they're speaking with this woman, with wife, and she kind of reveal the secret, right? Yeah, this one. Leila, could you please describe this one?
Okay. I'm just trying. They're outside. They're holding their guns, I think laser ones. And Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk and the lady on the left. Who is she? I don't know. Who is she?
No one.
Okay. And I don't know who they are targeting at.
Can you see these creatures on the? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Some
Like
of
a
them are.
jellyfish.
Yeah, some of them are on the ceiling. There's 3 on the ceiling right in front of them.
Okay. Is this creature?
Yeah.
I think is it as a whole or just pieces like this?
As we said, this creature, it's her body like not together. So these cells, they kind of communicate, being like separated from the body.
Okay, so, and then they gather together, right?
Yeah, somehow we don't know.
Ooh, it looks like a jellyfish
Yeah.
and bloody jellyfish. You see,
Yeah,
there are
and
red
it,
stripes.
it can fly too.
Oh, thank you, teacher. Like, anyway, I forgot that part. I can see some plants, some bushes, some leaves, green leaves, which means good luck. And there is someone else on the veranda. I can't see his face.
Yeah, probably Scotty. I can't tell.
Okay. And the colors show their rank, right?
Right.
Okay.
Rank
Yeah.
and department.
Department, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So it's a moment when this creature, the body, one of them attacked Spock.
Ah,
Yeah. So he was damaged. He was hurt by it, wounded. I don't know what, wounded. What was the word for this?
Infected.
Infected. Yeah. Vova, can you please describe this picture?
Mm. The, Dr. McCoy has
He got some samples. He has samples in this jar
yes,
from this creature.
in this.
Do you remember what were they talking about?
About this water.
Mhm. So I don't remember well this scene, but doctor, he said he was not he did not try to cure Spock, but he just tried to get some samples for future research, something like this, as far as I remember.
This was a small piece that he took out of Spock.
Mhm.
And Kirk said, "Can you get it all out?" And he said, "No way, because it's grown and wrapped around his nervous system. So he can't get all of it out. This is just a small piece he took out to study."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I forgot about this one. Vasans, can you tell us what is happening there?
This is where the Vulcan character gone mad, and he was trying to take control of the ship, and everybody, the rest of the crew, were trying to detain him, but nothing worked. He got unusual manpower, strength. He had a fist fight with everybody, and finally they managed to take him down, and the doctor injected some medicine. I think it's a sedative, and make him sleep.
Okay, not much here. We described this control board many times. I forgot this scene completely. Have no idea. So probably, Sergey, do you remember what is happening there on this scene?
I think this it is the moment when Spock went and he told to Captain Kirk that it's okay, but other teammate told Captain Kirk and other teammates that Spock damaged the instruction. Spock has to lie on the bed, and he didn't accept it to manage some processes in the starships.
This is where they weren't sure if Spock was under the alien control or not. So Kirk told the crew, "Don't take orders from Spock. So when Spock got control and came in here and said, beam me down to the planet, he said, I'm sorry, Mr. Spock, I can't do that. We were told not to take orders from you. So they called the captain down.
I see. And we call this device, it's a radar, right? Radar or radar.
Yeah, on this, I don't know what it is. It's just fake instrumentation, but yeah, radar or sonar. Yeah.
Okay.
Radar screen. It looks like a radar screen.
Okay, so Spock himself trying to make something with these samples, try to make investigation to research, to analyze this creature, right? And I remember Kirk was annoyed. He was irritated by this process. It was long. He said, we are on the best ship in the universe. And we have kind of 5 different science laboratories in there. And they are all the best in the universe. So why the hell we know nothing about this creature? Have state-of-the-art technology. Yeah. I understand his irritation. Yeah. Layla, what do you think about this picture? What they are doing? Is it a pattern?
1, 2, 3, 4 people, Captain Kirk, and could be the Japanese guy on the right.
I guess it's Spock and Doctor, Captain.
Yeah, and the nurse Chapel.
So they are wearing goggles, and I don't know why they're wearing these, but I love her clothes a lot. Yes, I don't know, because there's nothing to describe here. The only thing is that the room is a bit gloomy, not very bright. That's what I have noticed. Yeah, minimal decorations, Lee. Not a lot to say. Tell me, Ivan, why they are wearing the goggles.
They were about to use intensive light, so they protecting.
Okay, you said ultraviolet, right?
Yes, at that particular moment they used like the broad spectrum, but later they found that ultraviolet is enough.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that somewhere there and there we have some like funny decorations in this starship. You know, this.
What is that?
I don't know.
It looks like a reductor.
Yeah, some mechanical
system.
It looks like a Mars rover to me.
But it's funny that they put it
I'm
there.
going to say something, you're going to laugh at me. I thought it was a kind of weightlifter.
Yeah, barbells, yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, Spock is blind, right, at this moment.
Yeah.
Vova, do you remember this moment?
Yes.
Please tell us what is happening.
His wound. Spock want to die.
To die?
Yes. In the planet.
Actually, he was to be rid of the. Teacher wrote that he's saying it's worth it to be blind to be rid of the pain.
Wow.
He said it was a good trade. Don't worry, doctor. It was a good trade. At least the pain's gone. So being blind is worth getting rid of the pain. A good trade.
He doesn't feel panicked? No panic?
No emotion. He has no emotion.
Okay.
Sergey, do you remember, Sergey, they have a device. They had a device, some kind of painometer or something. Device that.
Yeah. But
So
it looked like equalizer.
So Layla, Spock is an alien. They have no emotion. They've suppressed all emotion. So he's just logic. So he's like, oh, I'm blind. Fascinating. How did that happen? Oh, well, you know, he doesn't panic.
Oh, I want to be an alien.
He observes and analyzes.
We all want to be, you know,
Teacher
curious.
Lee, is there a difference between an alien or extraterrestrial?
Same thing.
Same thing, right? Thank you.
It's good to know. It's the best explanation I like from Teacher Lee. When it's just the same thing, when you don't have to understand the small difference between, you know, between two notions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best answer possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all for today. I guess we got out of our slides and the story. And
Thank you.
I think we can manage a little pause from Star Trek. Let's do something else for the next one, and then we will have a few more episodes from the original series. We can Teacher Lee already selected a few for us that are better than others.
Teacher Lee, I promise I will watch it this time.
Next
Okay.
time, let's find something else. So your suggestions are welcome. Please write in our chat.
No.
Oh.
You don't like mine choices. No.
It's worth mentioning that in this episode, basically, we learned that whole planets could be wiped out by some kind of infection, basically.
Yeah, there is a message.
There's a message here, and that's why Bill Gates and what was that guy's name? Not Carl Sagan, the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, Stephen Hopkins.
Hawkins, yeah. They both felt like we need to get off the planet in the next 100 years before something wipes out all of humanity. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why there's a push to get to Mars. We need to get off of this planet so we have a backup civilization in case the whole planet gets wiped out by a virus or something.
Lots of things. There are lots of things to learn from you, Teacher Lee. Not only English, but lots of things. And also Ivan and Sergey and Vasant. Thank you. Thank you for being my friends.
Thank you very much for coming, and see you next week. Bye.
See you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Support.
Bye.